Welcome back to my Final Fantasy XIV drama series. Today's drama story is about Mary Sue and her RP crew. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Yes, Amaranth theme! It's so chill. I love it. Here we go. Hi Pathra, I come to you with a story about my experience in roleplay at Light Data Center. Since the first time I joined the game, I've always been on Light. I've played a couple of other MMOs before, have roleplayed on forums, and played Dungeons and Dragons. It's a favorite pastime of mine, and I was excited when I discovered a roleplay scene on Light. True, it's no Balmung when it comes to roleplay activity, but it was a budding scene, shall we say. I was part of a small FC where it was just friends with a common interest for roleplay, and I was eventually linked to this big group led by someone named Mary Sue, because that's what it was and all she'll ever be. Mary was someone you'd consider busy, nice on the outside, and she's very secretive. At first, I thought it was because she was just that kind of person, but nothing could prepare me for the shitstorm that was her and her RP posse. When I first joined the group, people were nice to me, and even though they had their weird habits in RP, I was just there to have fun with my friends and make new ones. Mary was the kind of person obsessed to a fault with Emmett Selk. On her Twitter, on her headcanons, it was all him. Her character was married to someone else, however, and even in public roleplay, she wanted her character to be considered the warrior of light. She had the echo, so when I did get the chance to roleplay with her, I got hit with the whole, I know you because the echo told me so. Screw character development, I guess. Back then, it made me uncomfortable to feel like she just wanted me to be some side character to her story and never really gave me a chance to develop my own plots. Along with her unsavory attitude regarding RP, one day I finally gathered the courage to join them on voice chat. She was there along with her RP character, who I'll call Mike. She had some people who seemed pretty fond of her considering she was the leader. I was like, sure, I'll hang out in voice call. Why the hell not? Eventually, I discovered a couple different people to RP with. I only joined on voice call to chit chat and relax with the others. Sometimes we'd play games other than Final Fantasy. Sometimes we'd talk about roleplay, which devolved into me just listening and not adding in my input, because Lord knows if you disagree with anyone in their community, you'll be ostracized for it. Example, someone would try to explain to them that self-inserting in RP was unhealthy, and they'd gang up on the person until it got to an uncomfortable state of bullying. Okay, RP community in my chat, what does self-inserting mean in RP? Oh, putting yourself into your character, playing as you on your character. Okay, I see. For example, someone would try to explain to them that self-inserting in RP was unhealthy, and they'd gang up on the person until it got to an uncomfortable state of bullying. At some point, Mary invited a couple of other people into some private voice call where it was considered some inner circle of friends, which made us feel like henchmen at this point. She trusted us for some reason, and I'm glad she did. Otherwise, I wouldn't know her for the snake that she really is. The inner circle. I mean, you know, the last time I heard like inner circle, it was from that Meet the Fockers. Meet the Fockers. Let's carry on. We had another friend. I'll call her Pixie. Mary and Pixie were leading a link shell group for this same private RP group and stuffed it with alts of different kinds. A lot of these alts were boosted by Mary. Every now and then, she'd just laugh at her bank account being in the red because of spending too much on Final Fantasy. But that's not my problem to deal with. These alts were on different email addresses, so different accounts that no one could trace back to her because of the lack of shared MOG station items like mounts and minions. This stemmed from Pixie and Mary's plan to bulldoze other people's roleplay events if they happened on the same date as the event of Mary's big community. Holy moly, Pixie and Mary planned to just ruin other people's RP events if they happen at the same time as theirs? Oh my god, so like, do they just like show up on their alts and just like interrupt on the say chat? I'm wondering how they do that. It made me feel pretty sick to see this all unfold, all because Mary wanted to monopolize events for her community. But I kept my mouth shut because I knew I'd be able to pull the trigger on her one day if she treated me badly enough. One day, they targeted an FC event that I'm going to call Rose because they had an event going on at the same time as Mary's community's anniversary. Mary had an alt, which was part of the science of the 7th Dawn characters. Brought it over to the event along with other people from the link shell and crashed the party. How did I know? I came by on an alt as well, but I never said a thing. We were required to have alts on different emails so our secret could be safe. Holy moly, they were part of some secret cult to like destroy other RP's events. What the fuck? Guys, go outside and touch some grass, please. Shit. I was on a trial account because I wasn't going to be as irresponsible as Mary was. This went on for a couple more events. Mary even joined another big community with her alt to help her track down events. She also came up with the rule that there should only be one major event in the spotlight whenever there was like a big holiday like Christmas, Valentine's, etc. And you can bet your ass there was a lot of favoritism in regards to whose event she picked. Oh my god, she's not playing God in her group. I couldn't believe it back then. I still don't believe it now. But she does have everyone fooled because she loves to save face as the person who cares so much about her community. One day, she and Pixie had a fight because Mary wouldn't put Pixie's event up front for a Valentine's event. Pixie was mad and ended up posting about this same drama online somewhere on Tumblr to expose Mary as a racist and a fraud. She revealed that Mary also scammed several people of Gil on her alts when the old housing system was a thing, and that she's banned on a black market Discord group. After Pixie exposed Mary, Mary became awfully paranoid and avoided talking to her community, using the excuse of busy IRL to save face. As far as I could remember, Mary was jobless and only fed off the money her mommy and daddy gave her, so not sure what she was truly busy with. So at this time, while Mary was busy, Mike was taking up most of the discussions and ensuring that the community and everyone was okay. Because it got so old being Mary's side character for her plot and her plot alone, I got sick of it and gradually stopped RPing with her and the group. I stuck to my friends. Then we all discovered clubbing thanks to the other big community lead by a pair of 2 Mikotes. When my friends and I learned the ropes on clubbing, it was a sign for me to go have fun some other way. Who cares about Mary anyway? She's just another reason why the RP quality in Light is so shit. Because her and the rest of her group do nothing else but god mod others. Railroad plots for the sake of their warrior of light moments, and worst of all is when they're depressed, they like to put that same depression into their characters and use RP as some sort of therapy. Well, excuse me, but I wasn't getting paid to be anyone's therapist in that community. One of them was a guy named Nano, who was always looking for sympathy in the community's vent chat, and his character was a self-insert for his depression. Not the healthiest person to spend time with. He would also end up bombing me with his problems in DM, unsolicited. At this point, I'll admit, I'd prefer getting a dick pic from someone else instead of opening my DMs to Nano's depression rants. He basically treated me like his therapist, and during RP, his character would get upset for no reason at all. Rather a dick pic. I'm just looking at chat and they're also laughing. Anyway, clubbing became helpful and beneficial for me and my primary FC. So we went off to make our own club. It was one of the first back then. We'd have a lot of people, and it was great to just listen to playlists and even accept music requests from our guests. We didn't advertise on Mary's community because they were safe for work only, so we did it on the other group every now and then. People in Mary's community would ask me where we've been, and I replied by saying, I run a club with a few good friends. Mary got angry because she didn't want the community to be related to some, and I quote, filthy ERPers. Little did she know that one person who constantly kisses her ass is running a safe for work bar that offers private ERP sessions. Someone from the other community, an admin for security named Jake, visited this place I'll be calling Moon Bar. He was offered an ERP massage session by one of the dancers. I know this because I eventually became part of the other community staff. We were talking about it and how a lot of Mary's community members are just as sleazy as the rest of us, but that just proves how much of a hypocrite Mary was anyway. So after Mary's outburst in my DMs, I left that group completely. Everyone else might have been still fooled by her "I'm so sweet and I dedicate my life to this community" attitude, but I never again want to be involved with a scammer, a racist, and a megalomaniac all at once. These days, I spend my time on Balmung, where I found an EU community that RPs there. The club my friends and I founded is now gone, but we all still write together. I tend to share my light experience to my crystal friends, and it just so happens that another community there knows who Mary is. She wanted to roleplay as an Asian, and when that didn't sit well with Balmung because people there actually know how to RP, Mary moved to Light, where she founded her community. So that's the backstory of Mary, and that's why she left Balmung to go to Light. They do this emoji. That's about it. I don't know what became of the Link Shell or Mary or her other toxic ass lickers in the community. But one thing's for sure, I'm never going to Light again because how disgustingly bad they made my RP experience out to be. Stay away from big communities because there's nothing ever good about them. The end. Do they mean like big RP communities? That's what I'm guessing. I don't know much about the RP scene, but it's definitely interesting to read these stories so I get a glimpse of what people are experiencing out there and in the RP world. So what do you guys think about this? Like, oh man, too much time on their hands. I mean, yeah, I mean, it makes sense if Mary didn't have a job and she was just like spending her time in the game doing that and bothering people. That's so weird. And she was doing it on alt, so like only the inner circle knew it was her. But also like it's everyone in that inner circle, right? That was bad. Because yes, it might have been Pixie and Mary's plan, but like if you're going to the event also and doing as they say, you're part of the sabotage. People be wilding out in RP. Every RPer I friend with gets into trouble and moves to different servers. Always happens. RPers be moving around and around. People just need to treat RP like a D&D campaign with friends and not like they're back in high school. True. But you know what? There do be some people who still feel like they're in high school, so you probably have to avoid those type of people. Honestly, I've been interested in the RP to see how much of a mess the community is. Try it out. Let's see. Remember we watched that video, types of role players? That was interesting, and I was like, that's the one. These are the type of people that I get the drama stories for. It's always the people who want to play in God mode or the people who just want to go straight into ERP. Like, there's some people who just want to have 5 wives in this game. They want to do the unthinkable because they're like, there's no way in hell I can have this IRL, so let's make my fantasy happen in Final Fantasy. Remember that story I read where one guy, that RPer, it was an RP story, and the guy just kept the girl at home like a housewife. When he was done with raiding, he was like, I'm back, baby. I'm back home. Give me some head. Like, what? What was his name? It was Snow. It was Snow. We forgot about Snow. Jay has overshadowed Snow. It was the first video you watched. Motherfuckers be pushing 40 and acting like they in high school. Don't kid yourself. Some are 50. I do like that about Final Fantasy 14 though, chat. Like, I do like that a lot of people I run into are like late 20s all the way to like 40 plus. I think it's got an older community and I like that about it. Because I don't want to play with... I personally don't want to play with a bunch of kids. I had my fair share of playing with kids when I played FPS games like Valorant. It's funny sometimes, don't get me wrong. Or like one time, I think I played... When Fortnite first came out, I played Fortnite. I think I was duoing like with a random and I just said like, oh, get this pot over here or get this. I was just telling them things on voice. They're like, how old are you? There was like this kid going, how old are you? You sound like my mom. And I was like, oh God. So I'm really happy that I found a bunch of gamers around my age range. I don't want to always play with kids or anything. I talk like a parent. Oh man. But these days I sound more like an English teacher, okay? Like someone will hand me a story and I'm like, let me tell you guys. Sometimes the stories are very black and white. It will be like, I woke up today, I went to the store and bought an apple. I took that apple, brought it back home and ate it. It's just very like point to point to point to point. And so I would say, oh, thank you, like, thanks for your story, but like, can you tell me like a little bit more, express your feelings? How did you feel? How did the apple taste? I'm just like, make it a little bit more detailed and personal. I just sound like an English teacher, guys. How did the apple make you feel? Tell me about it. You do kind of sound like an English teacher. Oh yeah, I understand that sharing too much detail is bad because that would give yourself away. But just like a little bit about your emotions, like how it made you feel back then. When you look back at it now, how did it make you feel now? Things like that. Because then that would help us understand and be empathetic. Now I want an apple. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about this Final Fantasy XIV drama story. If you have any of your own drama stories that you'd like me to share and read out anonymously, feel free to reach out to my Discord, discord.gg/Pathra. And a big thank you to my kind members who support my YouTube content.